The Nailgun is good, actually. It may seem like a weak DPS weapon at first, but if used correctly, it can shred hordes of enemies. But not many people realize that. It's also just fun to use because, well, it's basically the minigun of Ultrakill. Sadly though, many people use the Saw Blade launcher instead of the Nailgun, which is kind of why I'm making this video. Believe it or not, the Nailgun is kind of overpowered, and I'll explain why. But first off, what can the Nailgun even do? The Nailgun is the third weapon in the arsenal, and it can be obtained in 1-1 Heart of the Sunrise in the Limbo layer. It has three variants: the Attractor Nailgun, the Overheat Nailgun, and the Jumpstart Nailgun. First off, we have the Attractor Nailgun. The primary fire of the Attractor Nailgun fires a spray of 25 nails per second that each do 0.205 damage, which overall deals 5.125 damage per second, assuming all nails hit. It has an ammo count of 100 nails, and if all 100 nails are fired, it will take about 20 seconds for it to reload back to 100 nails. Nails deal extra damage to malicious faces, virtues, filth, strays, schisms, soldiers, and even Gabriel. The alt fire of the Attractor Nailgun can shoot out 3 magnets. These magnets are able to attract nails, rockets, enemies with nails in them, and even the chainsaw. Magnets will be destroyed if they are stomped on, have too many nails on them, hit by a rocket 3 times if it's attached to an enemy, or if the magnet has been out for 12 seconds. Next, we have the Overheat Nailgun. It can be bought from the terminal for 25,000p after receiving the Attractor Nailgun. The primary fire of the Overheat Nailgun fires 25 nails per second, just like the Attractor Nailgun, but each nail does 0.185 damage, which overall deals 4.625 damage per second. The primary fire also increases the overheat, which can charge the alt fire of the weapon. The alt fire of the Overheat Nailgun fires a barrage of overheated nails that can light husks on fire. Each barrage will fire 56 nails in 1 second, each dealing 0.185 damage, which in total deals 11.47 damage per second, which is pretty strong. The Overheat barrage can also be charged if the Attractor Nailgun is fired before switching to the Overheat variant. I'm not going to lie, the damage from these two weapons aren't amazing. Shotgun swapping can easily replace the decent DPS that the Attractor and Overheat Nailgun has. So why bother using the Nailgun? Well, one word: conductivity. This is where things get good. The last variant of the Nailgun is the Jumpstart Nailgun. The primary fire of the Jumpstart Nailgun fires 16 nails per second, which isn't very strong, but that's not the main focus of the weapon. The real star of the show is the alt fire of the Jumpstart, which shoots out a cable that sticks to enemies, which also increases the fire rate of the primary fire. When the cable has been attached to an enemy for 5 seconds, an electric shock will release from the enemy, dealing 10 damage. The electric shock will also release if the enemy has been killed while the cable was attached to them. If there are conductibles around, like magnets, coins, rockets, or chainsaws, then the range and damage of the electric shock will increase. For each nail that is in an enemy, the damage from the electric shock will increase by 0.066, and it caps out at 90 nails, which means nails can add an extra 6 damage to all enemies hit by the electric shock, which is a lot. Pair this with magnets and coins, and you basically have an electric nuke that absolutely shreds every enemy nearby. You can also use the electric rail cannon or ferryman lightning to conduct an enemy as well. Now that I've explained what the Nailgun can do, why do I think it's so good? The only reason why it's so good is because of conductivity from nails. It's extremely powerful if done correctly, and it can wipe out most of the enemies in the cyber grind. It's really disappointing that so many people consider the Nailgun to be the worst weapon in the game when it's capable of being more powerful than a nuke. Not only that, but pulling off conductivity with the Nailgun is just really fun and satisfying to do as well. When I shred all the enemies in the cyber grind with an electric shock with the Nailgun, It feels extremely rewarding for all the preparation I took to pull that off. Another reason that may be why people don't use the Nailgun is because of the saw blade launcher. I made a separate video on the saw blade launcher, so you can go check that out if you want. But I feel like people don't bother trying the Nailgun because the saw blade launcher is so much easier to use while also still being very powerful as well. However, I don't like how the saw blade launcher can kill everything with hardly any skill. I like the Nailgun so much more because it feels so much more skillful and rewarding to use when I manage to pull off an electric nuke with it. With the saw blade launcher, you just plop a magnet down and hold click, which isn't really interesting or satisfying to pull off at all. Especially since all of the other weapons in the game take so much more skill to use. In normal levels though, the saw blade launcher is generally stronger, as there usually aren't hordes of enemies, but in the cyber grind, the Nailgun is undoubtedly stronger than the saw blade launcher. Starting off with an electric nuke at the beginning of a cyber grind wave can kill fodder enemies easily, and it deals a crap ton of damage to the tankier enemies as well. Not only that, but when you kill many enemies with conductivity, it sends your style meter straight to Ultrakill, which is super useful since it gets rid of all hard damage. I will say though, before the full arsenal update, which is when conductivity in the Jumpstart Nailgun didn't exist, the Nailgun was actually really weak, but now that conductivity exists, the Nailgun is as viable as the other weapons. Some people even think that the Jumpstart Nailgun is the best weapon in the game, which honestly makes kind of sense because of how powerful it is. I'm saying it again, the Nailgun is good, like, really good. Pulling off conductivity may be difficult because of the preparation and skill needed to pull it off, but when it works, it works. I had to make this video though because for some reason, people give a lot of shit to the Nailgun when the jumpstart and conductivity makes it arguably the best weapon. If you use the saw blade launcher, I would recommend that you at least try conductivity with the Nailgun. It's way more fun to use, and it actually feels great to use because it rewards you for skillful plays, unlike the saw blade launcher. You'll be surprised at how powerful it is in the cyber grind. But yeah, that's it about the Nailgun. See ya.